Mama, what the hell are you doing in here in the middle of the night?
Did I wake you?
Playing the cymbals like that? Of course you woke me. What do you do? Are you all right? Do you need something?
Just going back to bed. I'm fine.
Well, what are you looking for?
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar at 4:10 in the morning?
Yep.
Why?
I need it.
You need brown sugar at 4:10 in the morning.
That's right.
Well, you finally lost it.
Why don't you go on back to bed?
Oh, God, what are you doing?
I'm making an apple pie.
At 4:10 in the morning.
That's right.
Why?
Because it's your birthday and you like my apple pie.
Oh, well, thank you very much, but can't this wait till later?
I'm 85 years old. How much later you think I got?
You're not going anywhere for a while, trust me.
Don't you be too sure about that. I have a very busy schedule.
Oh, can't you at least wait till the sun comes up?
No, I can't. I woke up this morning knowing I needed to make an apple pie first thing. And I'm gonna make an apple pie first thing if it's the last thing that I do. And if all you're gonna do is criticize, you can just go right back to bed.
All right.
Hey, why don't you help me?
Help you?
Yeah, help me.
It's 4:10 in the morning.
We're both away.
Not by choice. Besides, I don't know how to make your apple pie.
Well, it's about time you learn, don't you think? I'm not gonna be around here to bake them for you forever.
You are out of your mind.
Grab those apples off the top of the fridge.
Good God Almighty. Well, can I at least make some coffee first? Yeah, you got to run and start on me. I got to catch up.
Do what you need to do. I'm gonna go on about my business.
It's 4:10 in the morning. You know that, don't you?
No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's 4:15.
All right. What can I do?
Did you wash your hands?
What am I, 8?
There's a pie crust in the bottom of the freezer. Why don't you get that out?
Oh, you're not going to make a crust from scratch?
Who the hell's got time to make a crust from scratch? I haven't done that since you went through puberty. I'd had to get up 2 hours ago if I was going to make a crust from scratch. No, I'm not making a crust from scratch. Store-bought is just fine.
Mama, this pie crust has been in here for over 2 years.
That's all right. It's still good.
You sure it hasn't gone rancid?
You know what that's made out of?
Yeah, flour and shortening.
That's right. You know what shortening is?
What?
Petroleum. It's a fossil fuel. If it can live in the middle of the earth for 5 million years, 2 more on my freezer shelf ain't gonna hurt it any.
Oh, shortening's not a fossil fuel.
Suit yourself. I don't have time to quibble about facts that may or may not be true.
Where do I want this?
Take it out of the plastic and put it in here.
All right, well, you don't want it in tin. Look, it comes in
Good
a
God,
tin.
no, I don't want it in the tin. Those flimsy aluminum tins aren't worth squat. You need a good, solid glass dish to make a pie crust. Now, this is one of those 9-inch pie crusts. So we're going to put it in this 10-inch glass dish, at least. I think this is 10 inches. It's 24 centimeters. What the hell is that? Is that 20? Well, I don't care what they say. This is 10 inches. So put it here in the center and let it thaw.
All right. Okay, there, like that.
No, not like that. That's not in the center.
Yeah.
It's got to be in the center because once it's thawed, you're not going to be able to move it.
Well, but the crust doesn't reach all the way to the edge.
That's because it's one of those 9-inch crusts in a 10-inch pan. But they always give you more crust than you need. Once it's thawed, we're going to press it out real thin. If you don't press it out real thin, then it's just a thick crust. And who the hell wants a mouthful of crust? Now, set that over there.
All right, what about the tin?
What about it?
I want to save the tin.
No, I don't want to save the tin. I don't need a tin. Do you need a tin?
No, I don't
well,
need
then
a tin.
get rid of it.
All right.
Now, the first thing I do is I make my crumb topping. Now, into this little bowl, I want you to put 2 tablespoons of softened butter. Now, I need to get my cups. I need a half a cup, a third of a cup. What are you doing?
I'm measuring 2 tablespoons of butter off this other stick so I can get just the right amount.
Oh, here, give that to me. Here. Now, this is 2 tablespoons of butter.
Well, how do you know that's exact?
I don't, but it's exact enough. That's what 2 tablespoons of butter look like. I've been doing this long enough to know what 2 tablespoons of butter looks like, and that's it. Now, to this 2 tablespoons of butter, I want you to add 1/3 of a cup of flour.
1/3 a cup of flour.
That's right, 1/3 of a cup of flour. Then we need 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar.
1/3 a cup of brown sugar.
Are you packing it?
Yes, I'm packing it.
Is it well packed?
Yes, it's well packed.
It's got to be well packed or you won't get enough.
It's well packed, Mother.
All right, let's see. All right. Now you got your brown sugar and your butter and your flour. Not all recipes call for this, but I like to throw in a little bit of cinnamon.
All right, let me get you a measuring spoon.
I don't need a measuring spoon for the cinnamon. There. That's enough cinnamon.
Okay, how much is that?
How the hell should I know it's enough? That's all you need to know. And then I take a fork and I mash that butter right in to the brown sugar and flour. Now, some people say you should cut this butter in with a knife.
What people say that?
I don't know, the ones who do it with a knife, I suppose, but I don't like to do that. I like to use a fork so I can press that butter right between the prongs. Now, this is not a fast job, nor is it one for a weakling. It demands strength and time and patience.
None of which you possess.
That is correct, and that is why I am passing the torch along to you. Now, you just keep breaking down that butter into the flour and sugar mixture. Just break it down, push. Push, push, push.
I am pushing.
Well, yes, and you are, and that is the way you get it done. Yeah. Push. Push.
Oh, God, don't you have something else to do? But you have to keep doing that.
I'm just trying to help.
Don't you have something else to do besides look over my shoulder?
All right.
I mean, go over there and make some coffee or something. Finish the coffee.
You like my apple pie, don't you?
Sure do.
Well, it's a good thing because that's all you're getting for your birthday. I didn't buy you a gift.
That's all right.
I thought about it,
That's nice.
but I didn't get you anything.
That's all right.
Because, you know, I can't get to the store unless you drive me, you know.
I know.
So how the hell am I going to buy you a surprise when you're standing next to me the whole
I
time?
said it's all right.
So I'm baking you a pie.
I know, and I appreciate that.
Are you done yet?
No, I'm not done. You said it takes patience.
Well, it does, but still you should be done by now.
Well, I'm not.
I just didn't want you to think that I forgot your birthday.
I didn't.
Since I didn't get you a gift.
Mama, let it go. All is well. I'm having a very happy birthday.
You are?
Yes, I am. I
Wait.
really am.
You sure don't look like
I
it.
don't.
No, you look sort of pissed off.
Mama, I'm fine.
Is it because I didn't buy you a gift?
Mama, stop it. I'm fine. I don't need anything for my birthday except you.
You think I don't pick up on your sarcasm, but I do.
God, Mama, can we just cook? You crazy old lady.
What?
I said you're a crazy old lady.
Well, I'm not the only one. Have you looked in the mirror lately? Happy 65th birthday, Grandma.
Oh, I'm not a grandma yet. The way things are going, I probably never will be.
Oh, you don't know. Your daughter may surprise you someday.
Yeah, well, some surprises I don't need. Nah, Maggie's not like you and me, Mama. Maggie's an independent career type woman who won't know she wants kids till it's too late. Then she's gonna have some sort of midlife crisis about it, and the next thing you know, she'll be living with 200 cats.
Oh.
Yeah, well, thank God I won't be around to see that, huh? All right, here, how is that?
That looks fine.
All right, you sure?
Yeah.
All right, what do I do with it?
Just set it aside.
Set it aside.
Yeah, set it over there. We're not going to use it for a while.
We're not gonna use it.
We're going to use it. We're just not going to use it right now.
Well, when are we gonna use it?
Last thing, right as the pie goes into the oven.
And when is that?
Not for another 40 minutes or so.
Why the hell did I go to all this work now then?
Because it needed to be done.
Is there an order to all this?
Yes, this is the order.
Are you sure about that?
This is my pie, and I get to choose the order. And if you can't follow directions, you can just go right back to bed. Oh, we need a large bowl.
Oh,
a large bowl.
Oh.
And into that bowl, we're going to put white sugar, brown sugar, flour, nutmeg, cinnamon, and salt.
What about the apples?
What about
And
them?
we're gonna put the apples in too?
We're not putting the apples in yet.
Well, why not?
Are you going to question my recipe every step of the way? We're going to put the apples in. We're just not putting the apples in yet. There is an order. This is the order. And now we need a half a cup of granulated sugar. Shit.
Oh, when did you start using that word?
What word, shit?
Yes, you shouldn't be saying that.
I'm 85 years old. If I want to say the word shit, I'll say the word shit.
Well, I never use that word.
Well, maybe you should. Maybe you should try it out every once in a while. Might make you feel better.
I feel fine.
Feel better if you said shit once in a while.
Half a cup. This is half a cup. Here. Oop.
And now we need a quarter cup of brown sugar. Now, not all recipes call for this, and that's just stupid. I don't see how you can make an apple pie without brown sugar. And it's got to be well packed. Did I tell you that? Now, look at this. This is a well packed quarter cup of brown sugar. A quarter cup of brown sugar, well packed.
All right, what is next?
Now we need a quarter cup of flour.
Whoa. Aren't you going to wipe that off?
Wipe what off?
Your quarter cup.
My quarter cup's just fine.
It's got brown sugar stuck to the sides of it.
A little brown sugar never hurt anything. Brown sugar just make about any recipe better. I can't think of a single meal wouldn't be better with brown sugar. And if a little brown sugar falls off in the flour jar, then it'll just be a nice little surprise for me the next time I'm baking something. And now we need a half a teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of nutmeg.
All right. Here.
No, not those.
What?
Those measuring spoons won't fit in the spice can. Whose stupid idea was that anyway? Why would anybody ever make measuring spoons that won't fit in the spice can? You can't pour spices onto a spoon, don't they know that? Here, use this one.
All right. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Now, don't throw it in all into clumps. Spread it out. Let everybody get to know it. That's the way. All right, and now half a teaspoon of nutmeg.
Nutmeg? What's the nutmeg do?
I don't know, but you miss it when it's gone. And we need some salt.
How much?
Oh, about that much.
What was that?
What?
What did you just put in there?
I put in some salt.
But you didn't measure it. Was it a quarter teaspoon? Was it a half a teaspoon?
I don't know. It was that much.
God, Mama, how am I supposed to learn your recipe if you don't stick to a recipe?
The recipe calls for a dash of salt. I put in what I thought was a dash.
Well, it's a dash always that much.
No. It depends on the day and the time and how I'm feeling at the moment. Today, I felt like that much was a dash. Good God Almighty, grab a fork and stir all this around till it's one color. And you're going to have to break up that brown sugar. What are you doing?
Well, I'm breaking up the brown sugar.
Like that?
You just told me to break up the brown sugar, so I'm breaking up the brown sugar.
Like that?
Yes, like that. That's how I break up brown sugar. What's wrong with that?
It's just not the way I do it.
Oh, well, how do you do it?
Well, I do it like this.
Well, I don't do it that way.
Well, fine.
Well, fine then.
Fine. Wish I had that 60-second back.
Right there. How's that?
Is that all one color?
Mostly.
Mostly's not all one color. I want one color. It's got brown sugar and cinnamon and flour and nutmeg. It should come out beige. I want one color. It should come out beige.
All right, beige is what you want, then beige is what you'll get. But some of this brown sugar won't break up.
I know. Don't worry about it. I said don't worry about it. It'll just be a nice little surprise for your mouth when you bite into that bite and get a little extra brown sugar. See, that is one of the nice things about brown sugar. You just never know what it's going to do. Sometimes it's not there at all. Other times it just kicks you in the teeth. I just love brown sugar. I can't think of a single meal wouldn't benefit from brown sugar.
Shrimp scampi.
You could put brown sugar in shrimp scampi.
Oh, you can, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, well, why on earth would you want to do that?
Why not?
Tacos.
Well, I suppose if you like sweet tacos, you could. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to catch me in a lie. You're trying to think of something wouldn't be better with brown sugar. And I'll tell you this, you can just stand there all day long. You're not going to come up with anything.
All right, how does this look?
Now, that's all one color. That looks fine. Now, set that aside.
Set this one aside, too?
Yeah, we don't need it right now.
Why am I doing all this work we don't need done right now?
Because you need to prep things ahead of time. That's what we're doing. We're prepping things ahead of time so that when we need them, they're ready. Good God, I'm glad you never worked for NASA. We'd have never found ourselves on the moon. All right, now it's magic time. It's time for us to get doing this, get everything cleaned up. Wait, what are you doing with those cups?
What?
Those cups. What are you doing with my measuring cups?
Well, I'm putting them in the sink.
Why? They're not dirty.
Well, they got flour and cinnamon on them.
Well, just blow on them. It'll come right off. It's just powder. You don't need to wash them.
Fine.
I mean, now, if it were wet, if it were corn syrup or vanilla, well, sure, wash them, but dry goods are fine. Dry goods are dry. And that's why they're called dry goods, because they're good when they're dry.
All right, all right.
And now, the apples.
Woohoo.
Grab those apples and bring them over here to the table so we can peel them, will you?
Peel them where?
Right here on the table.
We're gonna peel the apples right there on the table?
That's right.
Well, where are the peels gonna go?
Right here on the table.
You're gonna put the peels right there on the table?
What have I been saying?
The peels are gonna go all over the table.
That's right. It's a table. It's not a Mercedes-Benz. We'll clean it all up when we're done.
Right.
Now, we need 8 cups of sliced apples, which translates into about 6 or 7, but you know what I do?
I hesitate to ask.
I use 8.
Of course you do. Why do you do that?
Because they cook down. Now, if you use those abnormally large, genetically altered apples from the grocery store, then you probably only need about 5. But I like to use these smaller ones in the 5-pound bag. They're sweeter than those others.
Well, you're a genius.
I know.
What kind of apples are these?
Macintosh. I won't use anything but Macintosh. Now, your Aunt Sylvia swore by Granny Smith, but those apples are just too damn tart. Not that your Aunt Sylvia and I saw eye to eye on most things anyway. Okay, we got 2 for 6. We need 2 more. No, that one's got a dent in it.
So?
Well, if you use an apple with a dent in it, you lose a whole bite of pie.
All right, there.
All right, now there's 8. Now we need the knife, the peeler, and the core.
The what?
The core.
The core?
The core that you core the apples with.
Oh, the apple slicer.
Well, if you knew what it was, why you just keep asking? Now, you take the core, the apple slicer, and you core those apples, and then I'll core these.
All right.
You know, I made an apple pie just like this on the day you were born.
Did you really?
I just said I did. Must have been some kind of nesting instinct or something.
Nesting instinct. You had a nesting instinct.
Well, sure I did. I think we all do, at least subconsciously. And I would not leave. I had to have the house all cleaned up. I had to have everything wrapped up, everything organized before my life changed forever. And I would not leave for the hospital until that pie came out of the oven.
Was Daddy angry?
Your father? Oh, he wasn't here. Your grandmother, my mother, took me to the hospital. Get in the car, Margaret, she said. Forget about that damn pie.
Well, where was Daddy?
Oh, he was somewhere, I don't know.
You don't remember?
When that pie came out of the oven, your grandmother hustled me into the car. Get in the car, Margaret, she said. Keep your legs crossed, for God's sakes. We got to that hospital. You were born 30 minutes later.
Do you remember that?
Oh, like it was yesterday. I don't remember all that much pain, though they said I screamed my fair share. But I remember that nurse. When it was all over, she handed you to me, and she said, why, she's just as cute as a sugar cookie. So I called you Cookie those first few weeks. You probably don't remember. But your grandmother put a stop to that.
Well, so you named me after her instead then, huh?
No, she named you after her. I kept calling you Cookie.
You always said that you named me Dorothy.
Well, I lie a lot.
But you also said I was a good baby. Is that a lie, too?
You were great in still photos. In real life, you were loud as hell.
Oh, well, I get that from you.
Oh, and you couldn't stand being left alone. As long as I was in the room, you were happy as a clam. But if I had to leave to go to the bathroom or take a pee, you screamed so loud you woke the neighbors. Finally, I just took to carrying you with me every place I went.
I must have liked your company back then.
I must have liked yours, too. Wait a minute.
What?
There's core on that piece.
There's what?
There's core on that slice of apple. You can't put core in a pie. Nobody likes core in their pie.
That little bit, is that really gonna matter?
Gonna matter? Where were you raised? I have never fed you core one time in your life, and I am certainly not gonna start now. Now you get a knife and you cut that out.
All right. All right.
And you be careful with that knife. Don't you get blood in my pie.
I'm not gonna get blood in your pie.
Well, you would if you cut yourself.
I'm not planning on cutting myself.
Well, that's a good thing, because I'm gonna have enough to clean up around here as it is. I don't need your cold, lifeless body at the same time to be cleaning up. Wait a minute! There's stem on that one. You can't put stem in a pie. Nobody wants stem in their pie. Good God in heaven, where'd you ever learn to cook?
From you.
You didn't learn that from me. I have never put stem in my pie.
Right, look, you worry about your apples and I'll worry about mine.
No, I'm gonna worry about all the apples, because this is my pie.
I thought it was my pie. I thought it was for my birthday.
It's not your pie yet. It's my pie right now. It's not your pie till it comes out of the oven, and then you can do whatever you damn well please with
Right,
it.
well, I am done coring my apples.
Well, good. Then now you can do those, would you?
Those are your apples.
Good God, you got 20 years on me. Can't you do a little extra work? Whew. I haven't had a bowel movement in 3 weeks.
Oh, good God, Mama, are you all right?
I don't eat as much as I used to either.
Well, that's probably because there's no place to put it. What else is going on with you that I should know about?
Nothing.
Well, maybe we should have you checked out later today.
I don't need to be checked
Well,
out.
maybe you do.
Well, maybe I don't. Last thing I need is some young doctor sticking his fingers up my butt trying to figure out what's slowing things down
Well,
up
it
there.
couldn't hurt.
I'm not too sure about that.
No, I just meant that it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, just make sure he's good looking is all I can say.
Maybe he'll look like Daddy.
Oh, God, I hope not.
I just meant maybe he'll be swapping debonair.
Well, if he's swabbing debonair, he won't be anything like your daddy.
Mama, stop it.
Your daddy was an idiot.
Stop it. Daddy wasn't an idiot.
Only an idiot could die the way your daddy died.
Mama, stop it. Dying in a farming mishap doesn't make somebody an idiot.
Your daddy drank himself to death. That was no mishap.
Drank himself to death. You always told me that he died because of a machine malfunction.
The machine malfunctioned because he was drunk off his ass. He was driving a hay baler on a farm in Amarillo while intoxicated, lost control, fell into the machine, and was spit out the other end, wrapped up like a happy little package. By the time they unbailed him, he was dead as a doornail. That never would have happened if he had been sober.
I never knew that.
Yeah, your daddy was a drunk.
But you told me it was a machine malfunction.
A hay baler is a machine.
But you didn't tell me the truth. Why didn't you tell me the truth before now?
Why would you have wanted to know the truth? Weren't you happier thinking your daddy died a noble death working the land instead of knowing he was a drunken idiot? The truth isn't always the truth. The truth is what you believe it to be.
So you lied to me.
That's why most families lie, to protect the innocents with ignorance. You done there?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
done.
good. Then it's time to peel. Now, this is how I do it. I take the peeler in one hand. I take a slice in this hand.
All right. Thank you. I know how to peel things. I have peeled things before.
All right, Miss Bossy Boots. I was just trying to give you a few pointers.
Well, I think I can manage.
Thank you.
I can't believe you lied to me.
It was for your own good.
Well, shouldn't I be able to decide that?
No.
This is time-consuming.
What, you got someplace else to be at 4 in the morning?
Well, yeah, in bed. Do you know? Aunt Lucy is in the hospital.
Your Your father's sister?
Yeah.
I didn't even know she was still alive.
Oh, yeah, 92 years old.
Ooh.
Been living in Temecula this whole time. Yeah, I called Cousin Mavis at the hospital and I said, Mavis, what is wrong with your mama? And she said, you know what she said?
What?
She's old.
That about sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah, Lucy Garlafini, I haven't thought about her in years.
Now, Lucy Gannon, Mama, we're talking about Daddy's sister.
Huh. I didn't know you were still in touch with that side of the family.
It's the only side left. We visited them when we took the kids to Disneyland.
Disneyland? That's got to be 20 years ago.
Oh, no, more than 20. That was the last family vacation we took before the accident. All four of us, driving from Texas to California in that Volkswagen Vanagon. Living and eating, sleeping together for 2 weeks in that van. Boy, I thought I was gonna lose my mind. Louis said, oh, it'll be just like living in a motorhome. But Louis was wrong. A Volkswagen Vanagon is not a motorhome. As far as I can tell, it's not much more than a twin bed on wheels.
Oh, Lord.
But got us there and back. Yeah. Anyway, we visited Aunt Lucy and Cousin Mavis on that trip.
You got a bruise on that one.
Yeah, I said I'll just peel it away.
Well, don't peel away too much. You won't have any apple left.
God, what kind of idiot do you think I am?
I don't know. What kind of an idiot are you?
Mavis was so calm on the phone. I swear. Sometimes I wonder if she's got a pulse. I said, Mavis, aren't you worried about your mama? She said, well, what's there to be worried about? I don't know anything yet. I suppose if the doctors tell me she's got cancer or something, then I'll be worried. But until then, I'm just going to sit here and eat my tuna sandwich.
Oh, God.
That's what she said. Oh, boy, she's a better woman than I am. That's all I can say. Oh, but I don't know. Maybe she's right. Maybe it's better to just wait for things to happen and then deal with them. The only one who suffers from worrying is the worrier. Because I've been worried about you for 20 years. It hasn't got me a thing.
Well, maybe you learned your lesson. All right, now that we got some peeled, it's time to take a few minutes before they turn brown and slice them. Now you want to slice them like this, nice and thick. No, that's too thin.
Okay, like that?
No, thick.
That is thick.
No, I mean thick, like your head.
All right, well, why slice them at all then? Why not just cover an apple in crust and bake the whole damn thing?
Don't be sassy. You don't wear sassy well. All right, once you got some peeled and sliced, it is now time for the flour and sugar mixture.
Oh, now we're gonna use it.
Now, after they're peeled and sliced, you throw them in here and you get them all well covered.
All right.
Stir them around there. Get them all well covered. There you go. Get them all covered up.
Okay.
And then you go back to peeling and slicing. Peel, slice, stir, repeat. Peel, slice, stir, repeat.
Yeah, you got quite a system here.
Yes, I do. And don't you tamper with it. All right, I am going to cover up that brown sugar so that it don't get hard.
All right.
Oh,
Mama,
oh,
what is it?
I'm dizzy.
Okay, all right. Shh, shh. Here, come sit right down here. Right there, right there, right there. Okay. All right. Did you take your blood pressure medicine?
I don't know, I think so.
All right. Where is it?
I don't, in the bathroom.
Okay, all right. You're just gonna sit here now and keep still, and I'll be right back. Why am I in here?
My pills.
Oh, right. Right. What are you doing over there?
Well, I figured as long as I was gonna die, I should be in a comfortable chair with my feet up.
You're not gonna die. Here, take one of these. Okay. Okay, yeah. You just sit here a while. You see, this is what you get when you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make a pie. Your whole system gets out of whack. All right, now you're just gonna sit here, and I will finish these.
I am scared of dying.
You're not gonna die, Mama.
Well, I am someday, and it scares me.
Well, don't think about it then. Let's change the subject.
Don't think about it. I'm 85 years old. What else is there to think about?
Well, let's talk about Howard.
Howard's dead.
Mama's. All right, let's talk about your friends.
My friends are all dead.
Mama, stop it. They're not all dead. What about Carolyn Wicker? She's not dead.
She might as well be. Ever since the stroke last year, she can't walk, she can't talk. All she does is drool. That's not living.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Just when you get everything figured out, everything starts to fall apart. Getting old just sucks.
Oh, I know it.
You? Oh, you haven't even started to age yet. Just you wait. First, you start farting for no reason at all. And then every time you laugh, you pee your pants. Parts of your body start to ache you didn't even know you had. Yeah, getting old is just a hoot. Then you forget things. You can't sleep. And then you find yourself awake in the middle of the night making an apple pie, and suddenly it all makes sense. And you go, yeah, that's right. As far as I can see, the only good thing to come out of aging is I no longer have to have my period. Good God Almighty, if I had to fool with that at this stage of my life, I think I'd just take out a gun and shoot myself in the head. There's peel on that slice.
There's what?
There's peel on that slice of apple.
Just a sliver. You can barely see it.
I could see it from all the way over here. There's no slivers of peel in my pie. If you want slivers of peel in your pie, you should make your own damn pie.
Seems to me I am making my own damn pie, so I'm gonna leave that little sliver of peel right on there. And then when I come across it, when I bite into that little sliver of peel, I'm gonna say, do you taste that little sliver of peel? Boy, is that yummy.
You got a real attitude problem there, you know that? What are we talking about?
I don't remember.
Ugh.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right.
You lying?
Yeah.
Well, you just sit there for a while. These spells have become more frequent.
Have they?
You know they have. This is the third one this week.
Fourth, I didn't tell you about one.
Well, maybe we should have your medicines checked. Maybe they should up the dosage or change it altogether.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, we'll tell them about it when we go and see them later today. I'll call and make an appointment after the rest of the town wakes up.
It's not going to do any good.
What do you mean? Of course it will do some good. What do you mean about that?
I'm dying, Dory.
You're old, Mama. You're not dying.
One leads to the other.
Not today, it doesn't. I swear to God, Mama, if you spoil my birthday by dying, you will never hear the end of it.
You know what would make me feel better?
I shudder to think.
If you find a man before I die.
Oh, for Kate, for me or for you?
Well, I wouldn't mind one for myself, but it'd probably kill me.
Well, if you're dying anyway, you might as well go out with a bang.
No, I mean for you. You need a man.
Mama, I do not need a man.
Well, you need somebody. I'm not going to be around here to look after you forever, you know.
Look after me. I'm here looking after you.
You are?
Yes.
Well, you're not doing a very good job then.
What does that mean?
Well, look at me.
You look bright and sunny to me.
Well, I don't feel bright and sunny.
Well, just wait for that medicine to start working and you'll be dancing around here in no time.
I don't mean physically. I mean up here. Getting old is depressing. Life used to be so easy when I was younger. And I mean, just a couple years ago. I'd do things without even thinking about it, but life's gotten more difficult lately. It's a lot of work just to get through a day now. And sometimes my body just feels so heavy. I think I'm not going to be able to carry myself around anymore, and that's depressing. That's not going to get any better. That's just going to get worse. But there is one thing that would make me really happy.
Oh, Mama.
You can't deny an old dying woman's last request.
Mama, I'm not going to hook up with some fella just to make you happy.
I'd do it for you.
Look, if you want to see me with a man, then stare at that picture of me and Lewis over there, because short of buying a puppy, that's as close to a hairy chest as I'll ever get again.
Oh, I hate a hairy chest on a man. Ugh, just creeps me out. I like him smooth and tall and tan.
Looks like somebody's medicine's starting to kick in.
Oh, you dropped one there on the floor.
I know, I dropped one, I'll get it.
Whoa, what are you doing?
I'm gonna throw it away.
What do you mean you're gonna throw it away?
Just what I said. I dropped this slice on the floor's dirty, I'm gonna throw it away.
No, whoa, wait, whoa.
What are you doing?
You
Just
will
sit
do
down,
no
Mama.
such
No,
thing.
hey, Mama, do. Oh.
There. Good as new. You were going to throw away perfectly good apple. Who raised you?
You raised me.
Well, I did a horrible job
Okay,
then.
fine. Whatever.
No daughter of mine should be throwing away perfectly good apple just because it fell on the floor. When I was little, we ate our food right off the floor.
Oh, you did not stop it.
And we were happy about it.
Would you sit down?
Now that looks good. There's some thick ones. That's very good.
Yeah, that's because I'm tired as hell of doing this, and I figured that if I made them bigger, then they would be done sooner.
Well, what about this one?
Yeah, I got a little thin with that one.
That looked like a potato chip.
It'll add character to the pie.
My pie does not need character.
Give me that. Here.
You have no respect for tradition, do you?
Okay, I am making a pie at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't think that's part of tradition, so please, just sit down.
You know, you can't make a good pie unless your heart's in it. That's a fact.
Thank you. Sit.
When's the last time you heard from Maggie?
Maggie? My Maggie?
Your daughter, you remember her.
Gosh, I don't know. Why?
Oh, no reason. I was just thinking about her last week.
God, let me think. Maggie and I, we haven't spoken in, well, I guess it's got to be 2 years now.
Well, don't you miss her?
Of course I miss her.
Well, why haven't you called her then?
Then why hasn't she called me? When she was little, we used to talk all the time. We'd talk about which boy she had a crush on or what her interests were. But ever since that accident, the gaps between our talks just kept getting bigger and bigger. And God, after Lewis and Michael were gone, when it was just the two of us in the house, she could go days at a time without talking to me. The bottom line is, Mama, she doesn't like me anymore.
Now that is ridiculous.
Oh, that's true. I know it's true. Oh, God, it's funny, isn't it? I haven't spoken to her in over 2 years, and I think about her every day.
Well, it can't last forever. Silence was made to be broken. But pull your sleeve down.
What?
Pull your sleeve down. I can see them. You know I hate seeing them.
I'm sorry. So sorry. All right, this is the last of them.
All right, then just stir those all in.
Okay,
Get them going there. Other one.
okay,
Now, get them covered up.
okay, there. I think they're stirred. stirred in and well covered.
I think that looks pretty good.
All right, good. Well, you like that, huh?
I think you did a fine job.
Thank you very much.
And now,
No.
set that aside.
You gotta be kidding me. Are we ever gonna put this thing together?
Yes, but set that aside. First, we have to deal with that crust, which is now nicely thawed.
Okay.
Now we're going to take this crust and we're going to squish it all the way out to the sides of the dish
Okay.
and make it real thin.
Okay, like that?
Even thinner.
Oh, okay. Really?
That's right, I'm not lying.
Okay.
And this ridge part up at the top, just press that out flat.
Uh-huh.
And then if you get any holes in it, you just mush them together.
Oh, this is gonna make for a very thin pie crust.
Well, you need a thin pie crust. Okay. There you go. And if you get any holes in the bottom, you just mush them back together.
Okay.
Once it starts cooking, it's gonna melt itself together anyway. Now, there you go. I gotta tell you, there is your pie crust. Woohoo!
I have to say that was a lot easier than making one from scratch.
Damn, anything's easier making one from scratch. Hell, I'd give birth again before I do that.
Okay, let me guess. You want me to set this aside now, don't you?
No, Miss Smarty Pants, I want you to take this pie crust and set it in the freezer.
In the freezer?
That's right.
We just took it out of the freezer. Why are we putting it back in?
Because it bakes up better if it's chilled.
Why?
I don't know, it just does. I don't know the scientific reason, but the crust comes out flakier if the shortening is chilled.
You're pulling my leg.
Why then would I pull your leg over something stupid as chilling a pie crust?
God only knows.
This is the way my mama did it before. It's the way I do it now.
All right, then, back in the freezer it goes.
And now we need to deal with this oven. It needs to be preheated to 425 degrees.
425 degrees.
All right, now you are ready now for the biggest secret of all. Are you ready? This is just gonna blow your mind.
It is, huh?
Grab that big skillet out of the drawer.
Okay, this one here.
That's the one.
Okay.
Can you guess what we're gonna do with that?
Can it get us arrested?
We're gonna preheat the apples on top of the stove.
That's it? That's your big secret?
It's a pretty big secret. Don't you tell anyone.
What would I tell? So what, we're not gonna bake this pie?
Of course we're gonna bake it. It's a baked apple pie. But if you just take those raw apples and stick them in the crust and put it in the oven, those are gonna come out crunchy, and we want them to be soft but firm.
Well, why don't you just bake it longer?
Because then the crust would burn. So my little secret is to pre-cook the apples on top of the stove.
Oh, if Hitler had known this, he might have won that war.
If you pre-cook the apples, they come out al dente.
Al dente.
It's an Italian word.
Yes, I'm familiar with the word. I've just never heard it applied to apples before.
Oh, al dente can refer to lots of things. Matter of fact, Howard and I once had a bed that was al dente.
Soft but firm.
That's right. In fact, oftentimes when we were in the bed, we were al dente. I was soft and he was firm.
Let's just keep cooking, all right?
What's the matter? Have you lost your sense of humor all of a sudden?
Just trying not to throw up.
You're no fun at all anymore. Now, get us some butter. We need 2 tablespoons of butter right here in this pan.
All right. Okay. That looks like 2 tablespoons to me.
All right, there you go. There's hope for you yet. Now, we just need to wait for that butter to melt and cover the bottom of the pan.
Oh, boy. You know who would have loved this pie?
Who's that?
Michael. Oh, Michael loved your cooking.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I miss him.
I know you do, so do I.
I still dream about him, you know. And when I do, he's always 8 years old. I don't know why he always is. Just is. My little fella. Oh, that's what I called him, my little fella. Never even saw 15.
He was a good boy. You really raised a good boy, Dory.
You think so?
Might have been gay, but he's a good boy. All right, your butter is melting. Your oven is preheating. It is time to make Mama's apple pie. Now, grab that pie crust out of the freezer and put it here in your 425-degree oven for exactly 5 minutes.
You want me to put this in the oven?
For exactly 5 minutes.
There's not a damn thing in this pie crust, woman. You know that, don't you?
Oh, ye of little culinary skill. If you don't pre-cook that pie crust a little, it's going to come out mushy instead of crisp, and we want it to be crisp. So my little secret is to give it a little head start in the oven for the same 5 minutes that we're pre-cooking the apples on top of the stove for the same 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, if you would have pre-cooked all this last night, we'd be done by now.
You have a very short fuse, you know that? Now, quick as a bunny, grab those apples and pour them right here on top of this butter.
Right there on top of the butter.
That's right.
All right.
And get all that flour and sugar mixture in there with it. There you go. Now, on a medium to low flame, we're going to slowly saute those apples for 5 minutes.
Oh, the same 5 minutes that the crust is in the oven.
That's right.
Yeah, you just said that a minute ago. You're starting to repeat yourself.
I said it once. You repeated it. I'm just agreeing with you. Now, stir all that around. It'll stick. Don't let it get stuck to the bottom. That sugar will just turn to asphalt if you don't keep it moving. Okay. Now, smell that? Take a whiff. The brown sugar and the flour and the butter and the cinnamon and the juice from those apples are mixing together to create an aromatic glaze that is simply to die for. You smell that?
I smell that.
Is that not to die for?
That is to die for.
Making this pie reminds me of my mama. She taught me this recipe, and now I'm passing it along to you, and someday you'll pass it along to Maggie.
Maggie doesn't cook, Mama. Maggie's a poster child for the fast food industry.
Oh, you don't know. Someday she may get her act together and get married and have kids of her own. You don't know.
Yeah, someday she may do a hell of a lot of things, but don't come and visit me or give me a call. That's not going to be among them, I can tell you that right now.
You don't know. Everybody matures at their own pace. Keep stirring.
Okay, it's got nothing to do with maturity, Mama. She resents me. That's the problem.
Well, everybody gets over their resentments in time. I think age does that to you. Maggie's no different. She just needs a little more time, that's all.
Mama, Maggie is 35 years old. How much more time does she get? Now, what it is that she blames me for the accident, which is just ridiculous because it wasn't my fault. But damn if I can convince her of that.
Well, she can't blame you forever.
Well, I think that's her intention. Last I heard, she was dating a man twice her age, and I know it's just to piss me off. All right, or maybe it's just some sort of father figure substitute type thing. I don't know. Look here. How does that look?
Now, that looks fine. Turn off your flame now. Let those just sit there while your crust finishes. We can clean up a little bit.
Boy. Louis was a better father than I was a mother.
Well, what a thing to say.
Maggie used to tell me that.
Well, if she said that to me, I'd slapped her in the face.
Yeah, well, I would have too if I didn't think she was right. No, see, Maggie had a bond with her daddy that I just never could match. Boy, I tried. I tried to fill that void. After Louis was gone, I tried being her sister, tried being her friend. What I couldn't be was her daddy, and that's what she needed. That's what she wanted.
You did the best you could. That's all anybody can ask of you. And I think she's going to come around in time, I really do. Everybody ripens when the sun comes up, she'll ripen too.
Who are you, all of a sudden? The Dalai Lama? The sun comes up and everybody ripens. What the hell does that mean?
Means I'm a genius. Oh, there's the timer. All right, let's make a pie. Grab some mince and get that pie crust out of the oven and set it right here.
Okay. Here we go.
There you go. And now, quick as a bunny, grab those apples and pour them in here on top.
Right there on top.
Right here on top.
Okay.
There you go. Get all that flour and sugar mixture in there with it. There you go. Now, you want to get that in there and spread it out. You don't want any mountains in the middle. Because your crumb topping needs a flat surface, so you need it nice and flat. Are you hearing me? flat.
Yeah, that is flat.
Does that look flat to you?
Sure, it's flat.
That's not flat.
Sure, it's flat.
What's that?
All right. It's not entirely flat. There. Look.
When I say the word flat, what does that mean to you? When I say flat, do you think pancake or do you think porcupine?
I know what flat is,
I
Mom.
don't think you do. Otherwise, that'd be flat. Give that to me. Now, this is flat. Get that crumb topping and bring it over here.
God, the Holy Grail. The time has finally come for my crumb topping.
Oh, why don't you stop talking about it and get it over here, for heaven's sake. Now, get this all around on the edges and every place. I just love a crumb topping. It's so light and airy on your tongue. Sort of just dances. A double crust pie does not dance on your tongue. It just lays there. Now, get all these corners. Don't leave any apples underexposed or they'll likely burn. Get them all the way out there, the edge. There you go.
That's
I
good.
think this is ready for the oven.
All right.
So slide that puppy in the oven.
Okay.
And set your timer for 30 minutes and we will be on our way.
Oh, so it takes about 30 minutes. Huh?
Not about 30 minutes, 30 minutes exactly.
All right, then, 30 minutes.
And in 1/2 hour, you will have the most delectable pie that your tongue has ever experienced. All right, now the pie's in the oven. We need to clean up a bit. It's like, oh, got a bunch of peels there on the floor.
Well, yes, well. Mama, how is it that you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to bake a pie, and yet I am doing all the work?
I guess I'm just smarter than you.
Hey, what is this?
Oh, it lives down there now. I just needed some more room on the shelf.
Mama. Did you ever love Daddy?
What an odd question to ask out of the blue.
No, the way you were talking about him before, falling in the hay baler and all, you didn't sound like a woman who loved him very much.
Oh, I suppose I did. It's hard to love a drunk. Harder still to love a coward, and your father was most of those things.
Why did you ever go out with him in the first place?
'Cause he had a big dick.
Oh, my good God. Where is your tact nowadays?
I don't need tact. I'm 85 years old. I can say anything I damn well please. Besides, didn't you ever go out with a man just 'cause he had a big dick?
What?
I said, didn't you ever go out with a guy?
No,
because-
Mama, I heard what you said. I just can't believe you said it.
Well, didn't you?
Yeah.
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 Damn right, yeah.
But how did you know?
What, that he had a big dick?
Would you stop saying that?
Well, you asked.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be discreet.
You can't be discreet about something like that. You just have to blurt it out. I knew because he wore those tight, stretchy jeans back then. He knew what he had. He was advertising. First time he came towards me, I thought I was being charged by a rhino.
But it wasn't enough, huh?
Oh, it was plenty.
No, I mean, it wasn't enough to save the marriage.
Dory, I need to tell you something.
Okay, what is it?
You're 65 years old now. You're probably old enough to deal with it.
My good God, you're a Democrat, aren't you?
What? No, I'm not a Democrat, for God's sake.
Okay, what is it then?
Your father and I were never married.
What?
You heard me.
You were never married?
No.
I'm just finding this out now?
Yep.
You waited all these years and you never told me?
That's right.
Well, when were you planning on telling me?
Eventually.
Eventually? Mama, you are 85 years old. How much more eventually were you planning on using up?
Well, I was cleaning out my closet over the weekend, and I saw some photographs of him, and I thought, well, now might be the right time to tell you.
How many skeletons have you got in that closet of yours?
Oh, I got quite a few. How many you got?
I don't have any.
Oh, yeah, well, by the time I finished talking.
God, I can't believe you never told me.
I did. I just told you right now. I swear you're never satisfied.
I just assumed the two of you got divorced when I was a baby.
I know, and I just let you think that all these years, but you said you wanted the truth, and so there it is. You're not going to cry, are you?
No. I mean, I suppose it doesn't much matter. It doesn't change the way I feel about you. It's just a little odd finding these secrets out this late in life.
Well, I'm sorry. That's just the way life is, just full of little secrets.
So then, technically, I'm a bastard.
Yeah, that's right. You're a bastard.
What's a female word for bastard?
Bastard.
Really? It's not bastress or something like that?
No, I think you're just a bastard.
Thank you. I think you're one, too.
Hey, while you're up, why don't you get me some more coffee?
Not up.
Well, then get up and get me some more coffee.
Now, wait a minute. If you and Daddy were never married, how did you end up with his last name?
Oh, I just took it.
You took it?
Yeah, I took it. When it became clear to me that he wasn't going to give it to me himself, I just went over to the courthouse and had my name legally changed to his. I didn't want him trying to pretend that you weren't his, and I didn't want you going through life with a stigma around your neck. Nowadays, women are just popping out babies right and left, not caring who the father is, sometimes not even knowing, but back then, a woman out of wedlock giving birth to a bastard was frowned upon.
So you became Margaret Jackson all those years just for me?
Well, it wasn't that hard. When your maiden name is Stroganovich, Jackson just seems like a happy accident. And then I married Howard and became Margaret Garlafini, so I was Polish and British and Italian, never left the country.
So you never lived together?
No. He'd just show up in town from time to time and tell me all the things I needed to hear, and that usually resulted in a night of passion, and then by the morning, he'd be gone. Finally, when you were about 3, I just told him to take a hike.
Why did you do that?
Because he wanted to have another baby.
With you?
Of course with me. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Just asking.
I said, there's just no way I'm going to raise 2 kids by myself. If you want to have another baby, it's going to cost you a diamond ring.
So what happened?
Well, you know what happened. We never married. Suppose that big cock of his just kept him too busy to ever think about settling down. And then when I wouldn't open up those golden gates anymore.
Okay, Mother, please. Please.
Gee, well, you just stop coming around.
Well, that's not totally true. I remember him stopping by from time to time when I was growing up.
Well, that's right, but he didn't come to see me. He was coming to see you. He really liked being your daddy. He just didn't know how to do it very well. Do you remember him at all?
Sort of. I remember he was really tall.
Well, that's because you were really short. How old were you last time you saw him?
Oh, last time I saw him, I was 11 years old.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I know I was 11 because that was the year that I had 6th grade spelling. And that week, one of the words I had to learn was autopsy, and I didn't know what it meant. So he was around, so I asked him, I said, what's an autopsy? And he said, your last physical.
Daddy!
So I told this to all my friends. I did. I said, you know how you go to the doctor every year for your physical? Well, your last one's an autopsy. I had half the class using this word wrong before the teacher set us straight.
He must have had his last physical soon after that.
Yeah, that summer.
Sounds about right. I married Howard soon after he died. Oh, now they're all gone.
Yeah.
Daddy and Louis and Michael. I swear, men are just unreliable. Every time the dishes need washing, they just up and die. Those dry goods aren't going to put themselves away, you know.
Oh, they're not, huh? Is that your subtle way of telling me to do it?
Oh, I'm trying to be subtle. Pull your sleeve down.
Oh, I guess I should call Cousin Mavis at the hospital this morning and see how Aunt Lucy's doing.
92 years old, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Good for her. Your father and I visited your Aunt Lucy once.
In Temecula?
No, they were living in El Paso at the time. We drove all through the night with you curled up in the back seat. You probably don't remember. You were just 1 year old.
No, but pretty sure we didn't get there in a Volkswagen Vanagon.
No, did not.
So, if I was only a year old, then Mavis wasn't even born yet, was she?
Not quite.
And you didn't keep in touch with Aunt Lucy over all these years?
No, we sort of had a falling out early on.
Over what?
Oh, I don't remember right now. First met Howard on that trip.
Well, Howard? Yeah, Howard's from El Paso, wasn't he?
Well, look who's still got a memory. Yes, he was. I'm surprised you still remembered that.
So he knew Aunt Lucy, too.
How'd you know that? Did your aunt tell you that?
What? No. I was just asking. Why? Were they friends?
You could say that.
I never knew that.
Yeah, they were good friends.
So all those years you were married to Howard, I don't ever remember him mentioning Aunt Lucy.
Well, they sort of had a falling out, too.
Huh. So they must have moved to Temecula soon after that visit of yours.
I don't know, I suppose so. Why?
Well, because Mavis was born in Temecula. She lived her whole life there. So if I'm only a year and a half older than her...
You're nosy today.
What?
You're like a bloodhound on a scent. Where are you going with this?
Nowhere.
Look, you don't get to pass judgment on all the decisions I made in my life. Some of my secrets are just going to my grave with me, and that is the way that is going to be.
Look, it was just idle chat.
Well, let's just idle chat about something else then, for God's sake.
All right.
Good God
Okay,
Almighty.
I said all right.
Have you ever ridden a skateboard?
Seriously. That's what we're going to talk about now.
I'd like to ride a skateboard.
Right now?
You got one?
No.
Well, maybe later then.
Yeah, you on a skateboard, that would be quite a sight, you know. Why would you want to ride a skateboard? They're dangerous, you know. You could break a hip.
At my age, I could break a hip just getting out of bed in the morning. That's not my point.
Okay, so what is your point?
My point is it looks like fun.
Fun, oh yeah. Well, so does skinny dipping, but I'm not going to do that at my age either.
You're a sour suck.
A sour suck?
Living with you is like sucking on a lemon.
Yeah, well, you're no jelly donut, you know. Fun is overrated at our age.
You see, that is the difference between us.
What is?
I still want to have fun. You've given up on it.
Oh, I haven't given up on anything.
You've given up on everything.
No, I haven't given up on anything. That's just not true. I just happen to know what my limitations are at this point in my life, and you don't. You still want to run and jump and play like a prairie dog.
Well, what's wrong with that? I'm just a young person trapped inside an old body while you're an old person trapped inside a young body.
What does that mean?
You go around here all day acting like your life is over. 65 is not old. I'd kill to be 65 again.
I'm not even middle-aged anymore, Mama. 65 is well past middle-aged.
That doesn't mean you're dead. You need to go out and find yourself a man.
Oh, see, yeah, here we go. Here we go.
And knock a few years off you.
Mama, the last thing I need is a man.
No, I'd say the first thing you need is a man.
I am not in any position to have sex nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. That looks like a pretty good one.
Good Lord.
When was the last time?
What?
The last time you had sex. When was it?
I'm not going to stand here and discuss my sex life with you.
It'd be a short conversation. The last time I had sex
No,
was when...
I don't need to know this.
You don't find it interesting?
No.
Really?
No, not in the least. So please, Mama, just shut up.
What about that Ed fella?
What are you talking about?
Ed, that fella you went out with a couple
Mama,
years ago?
Mama, that was over a year ago.
Well, maybe he's interested in it.
He hasn't called in a year. Does that sound interested to you?
Well, maybe he hadn't called because he lost your phone number.
Or maybe he hasn't called because he died. Either way, it doesn't sound promising, does it?
Maybe you should call him then.
Why?
Maybe you'd like to find someone to grow old with. I'm not going to be around here to entertain you forever.
Oh, yeah, because it is your soft shoe that gets me up in the morning.
You know what I mean. You don't want to die alone.
I'm not going to die alone, Mama. I got you. And you are clearly going to outlive everybody because the ornery ones always do, so maybe you ought to call Ed.
Well, maybe I will.
Fine.
Fine.
Fine, then. What do you want me to do with these apples?
Oh, I don't care.
You want me to save them?
You're not gonna throw them away, are you?
Are you planning on making something else with them?
No, I think I'm done.
All right, well, they'll be in the fridge if you change your mind.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Good Lord, here we go again. Man!
Oh, yeah, right.
That was
Man.
it. That was
Yeah,
it. That was
man.
it. I was gonna say, you need to find yourself a fella like Howard.
They don't make fellas like Howard anymore.
Oh, he was my little rock of Gibraltar. Loyal as a puppy and just as happy.
He was a good man, Mama.
Yes, he was. He was shy, though, and quiet. I don't think he said 100 words the whole time we're married.
But he had a good heart.
Yes, he did. Jamin had to stop ticking right there in the Circle K. I went to the next aisle to get some diet rights. I came back, he was dead on the floor.
It's horrible.
I'll always remember his last words.
What were they?
I love you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He was reading a greeting card and then just fell on the floor.
It's unbelievable.
I was your age, 65.
You still miss him?
Oh, I think I miss him more now than when he first died. But you remember I had his ashes spread up there on the mountain, so every spring when those cactus flowers come into bloom, I just feel like he's paying me a visit.
That is sweet.
You know, they charged me for that greeting card.
What?
Yeah. Said they couldn't resell it.
That's terrible.
Well, he did wrinkle it. And he adored you. He treated you better than his own daughter.
He had a daughter?
Well, if he'd had a daughter, he treated you like his own.
Yeah. He was so tickled when I asked him to walk me up the aisle. His face turned bright red.
Yeah, shy men are like that. Oh, I remember the first time I had him over to the house. I offered him some of my homemade fudge, and I said, do you want the male fudge or the female fudge? And he said, what's the difference? And I said, well, the male fudge has nuts. Bright red. In fact, the first time we slept together, his face
No,
turned the color.
whoa. No, that's far enough, old woman. We do not need to go any further with that story.
It's a really good
Oh,
one.
no,
Well, you're
thank
just
you.
missing out.
No, thank you. Mama, how many apple pies do you think that you've made over the years?
I don't know. At least 100, probably more.
And how long does it take to make an apple pie?
How long?
Yeah, from start to finish, how long would you say it takes?
I don't know, hour and 20 minutes.
So 80 minutes.
That sounds about right.
All right, so that's 100 pies at 80 minutes a pie. That's 8,000 minutes. 8,000 minutes you've spent making apple pies.
That's about right.
8,000 minutes, that's about nearly a week. Nearly a week of your life you spent doing nothing but making apple pies.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good use of my time on this earth, don't you think? Oh,
Yes,
my gosh.
I do. I certainly do.
Oh. Mwah. Show me the way to go.
My goodness.
I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it went right to my head. Wherever I may roam, on land or sea or foam, you can always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home. Woo-hoo! We still got it! Remember how we used to sing that song when you came home from school?
Yeah. Yes, I do. It's one of my favorite memories. You'd come from the kitchen, I'd come from the hall. We'd come together and we would dance like we had no cares.
Oh, we didn't back then.
Boy, what made you think of that?
Oh, you got me thinking about your daddy. That was his favorite song.
That was?
Yeah. He and your aunt used to sing that right after they tied one on.
Daddy and your sister.
Yeah, they were drinking buddies, among other things. I always thought that was a sad little song, but your daddy had a way of singing it. Made it seem real happy.
Yeah, you know, I taught that routine to Maggie when she was little, and there was a year or so there when she was 7 or 8 when she refused to go to bed until we danced together.
Dancing makes everything seem a little better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
I need to get to my chair, I think.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Life is good.
Yeah, life is good.
I called Ed.
You did what?
I called Ed, that Ed fella.
Yes, I know who he is.
Well, I called him.
Just now?
No, a few days ago.
Why on earth would you do that?
Well, because he needs to be called, and for the record, he's not dead.
Oh, well, thank you.
In fact, he's free Friday night.
What?
I said he's free Friday night.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. But he's picking you up after 8.
What?
He's picking you up. What? Are you deaf? 8.
Oh, God. What, you made a date for me?
Well, you weren't making one for yourself.
Mother, I'm 65 years old. I do not need you making dates for me. I'm perfectly capable of making my own dates.
Well, why don't you then?
Because I choose not to.
Well, it's just dumb. You're running out of time.
Well, that's a horrible thing to say.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, well, I know it's true. But you just don't say that to somebody. I'm very upset with you, Mama. I mean, just how could you do such a thing?
It was easy. I picked up the phone.
Okay. Can't believe you sometimes. Really?
What?
8.
Yes?
This Friday.
Yes?
Well, that's just ridiculous. You should have made it 7. You know I can't stay up past 10.
What?
7. What, are you going deaf?
Well, why don't you just call him and change it yourself then? I put his number right up there on the fridge.
No, I really, I cannot believe you sometimes, what has gotten into you.
Life has gotten into me.
Oh, my goodness gracious. This changes everything.
Good.
Mama, I think it's done.
Has the timer gone off?
No.
That's not done.
Well, but it's getting brown on top.
Yeah.
Well, you want to come and look at it?
No, I don't want to look at it.
Well, maybe you should just take a peek.
No, I don't want to look at it till it's done and it's not done.
Well, how do you know without looking
Because
at
the
it?
timer hasn't gone off. Now close that door or it's never going to finish cooking.
I can't believe you made a date for me. It's like high school all over again. Oh, can you imagine what Maggie would say if she knew I had a date?
I think she'd be happy for you.
No, I doubt that. No, in her mind, I'm supposed to live in perpetual mourning as punishment for my crime.
You didn't commit a crime. Now, you gotta stop thinking like that.
I know I didn't, but just try telling her that. I don't know how she could blame me for an accident I had nothing to do with, but she does.
I don't think she blames you for the accident. I think she blames you for sending him out that morning in the first place. I know that's not right, but I think that's what she does. I think she's decided that if you hadn't sent him out that day to start with, they'd still be here.
And probably they would. How was I supposed to know that trip was going to kill him? I sent Louis and Michael to the market. That's all I did.
I know.
And Louis had driven to that store a million times without even getting a scratch on him. But this one time there's a collision and suddenly it's all my fault. Why? Because I asked him to pick up some ice cream for dessert. Hell, people go out all the time for dessert and they live to tell about it.
Well, I think in time that she's going to come around. I really do. I think all people over time come to realize the randomness of life that says this person's going to live and that person's going to fall into a hay bale, the arbitrary nature of things. Maggie's a good girl. she's grown up since the last time you talked to her. I think she's gonna come around. Now, you just wait and see.
You've been talking to her, haven't you?
What?
You've been talking to her. What did you do? Did you call her up? Did you send her a letter?
I did no such thing.
Oh, well, you have been talking to her. I can tell by the way you're talking now.
Oh, I texted her, if you must know, Miss Nosy.
You text?
Nearly broke my thumbs off.
And?
And she called me right back. We had a nice long conversation.
So why didn't you tell me about this?
Because it's none of your damn business. Besides, she asked me not to.
Well, I tell you things all the time that people tell me not to say.
Well, that's why you have so few friends.
Okay, so what did she say?
Well, I'm not going to go into the whole thing with you, but I will say this. She's starting to come around. She misses you, Dory. She didn't talk angry about you at all this time. And we didn't even talk about Louis and Michael. We mostly talked about the weather.
Oh, my God, she's coming for a visit, isn't she?
Why would you say something like that?
Because Maggie never goes anywhere without the appropriate wardrobe. Yeah, when we took vacations when she was little, she'd check the weather reports days ahead of time. She is coming for a visit, isn't she? Mama, isn't she?
Oh, well, damn you. Now you just spoiled your own surprise.
What surprise?
Yes. She is coming here later today to surprise you for your birthday. Now you dragged it out of me. Are you satisfied?
Shit.
There you go. Don't you feel better?
What are we going to talk about?
Well, it's not like you're strangers. She's your daughter, just like you're mine. You talk to me all the time, even when I don't want you to.
Mama, we haven't seen each other in over 2 years.
It'll just be like that pie crust from the freezer once it was thawed. It was fine, wasn't it?
Mama, what am I going to say to her? What am I going to say?
Why don't you ask her about her pregnancy?
Well, she's pregnant.
Yep.
Shit.
Ask her who the father is.
Who's the father?
She doesn't know.
Shit.
I don't know about you. But I feel better hearing you say shit.
Oh, my God, what a day this is going to be, Mama.
You can say that again.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I do feel a little bit better.
All right, it's a good part, isn't it? Happy birthday, Dory.
Oh, thank you, Mama.
I love you.
God, I love you too. Look at that. Look, the sun, it's coming up on the mountain. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's a brand new day, Mama. It is a brand new day. Oh, there's a timer. It's ready. The pie's ready, Mom. I'll get it. Oh, look at that, Mama. Look at that. Oh, do you smell that? Oh, boy, that is a beautiful pie. Oh, God, don't you think so, Mama? Mama?